New Kids on the Block had a couple of hits. Chinese food makes me sick. And I think it's fly when a girl stops by for the summer. For the summer. I like girls that wear Abercrombie and Fitch. I'd take you if I had one wish. But I ain't talked to you since that summer.
My mind has been brain poisoned by that darn worst songs ever playlist.
Yeah.
Because the most music I have listened to, and this is bad. This is mostly just like a self-own more than anything.
Yeah.
The most music I have listened to in the last 6 months has been me listening through that playlist one time. Right. And so now it's like the only sort of library I pull from when like songs appear in my mind. So like that Oliver Tree song, Life Goes On, just constantly every time I wake up.
I made the mistake.
On.
I made the mistake yesterday of saying my wife was making Chinese food, and I said Chinese food makes me sick, and she was like, "What?" And I was like, "Oh, it's from this song."
Mm-hmm.
And then I played it, and it's ruined our household.
Mm-hmm.
Like
she's mad at you about it?
Yeah, well, she'll like look at me and be like, "You're singing that damn song, aren't you?" And I'm like,
like in your head.
Yeah,
singing it?
yeah.
Goodness.
Like we were driving to church yesterday, and I just couldn't stop smiling. And she's like, "I can see you singing it in your head."
That's hilarious.
So every once in a while, I'll hit her with it, and she'll sing along. But it's a pretty fraught situation. Luckily, my son is too young to.
Yeah.
Actually, honestly, if my son was old enough to be influenced, I would be hitting him with the LFO, so that even when I'm gone at work, he's still bothering my wife.
Exactly.
Chinese food makes
that
me
way
sick.
you can sort of like run a psyop that you're at a constant 24-hour period, right? Your wife is never away from the song.
She's under threat of Summer Girls by LFO at every waking moment.
It's true.
And sleeping moment. I woke her up this morning.
To that, yeah. Well, you got to do is you got to program all her alarms to be that song, and eventually when she removes all electronics in the home, right, you have to be on that vocal track
I just have
constantly.
I have to hire like a saber-tooth tiger or something like Flintstones to be my alarm
clock. Yeah,
like
that it opens its mouth and goes.
And it goes
Chinese food makes me sick.
I like girls that wear Abercrombie and Fitch. And then it looks over at the camera and goes, "It's a living."
Yeah, it'd be great. Yeah, I think your wife's gonna love it. Yeah. I will say, I do wonder to what extent animals are used for appliances within the Bedrock Society, only because like it seems really picky and choosy, right? Like they don't use them as cars. They've got their cars that they've made.
Yeah. But they use them as excavation equipment.
Exactly. Right. So it's like, it's kind of all over the place, and they don't answer like the important questions, like, well, maybe they do answer how they shower. I don't know.
They
do. It's like an elephant. Yeah, that drinks water and sprays water on top of them. All right, never mind. They've got the whole thing locked down. It's airtight. I don't know what I was doing.
Yeah, in the Flintstones movie, there's a scene where they have a garbage disposal. That's some sort of screwed up pig creature. Yeah. So I don't know, man. Everything is taken care of.
Man, so it's like a horrific biopunk kind of world that they live in, where creatures are bred in order to just sit in boxes and do.
I don't think they're bred to do that. It's just a job like any other.
It's a living.
They're
doing what they got to do. Just in this darn capitalist society of ours, they do what they can to pay the bills.
Capitalist society of 2000 BC. I don't know. When is it supposed to take place?
Dude, I don't know.
Definitely at 2000 BC.
It's before Christ. That's what I know. Jesus isn't walking around quite yet. So,
well, there's a Christmas episode.
Really?
Yeah, there's a Christmas.
Is there any like Christian iconography?
They have a Christmas tree.
Okay,
I don't know,
but that's a pagan thing originally.
Well, okay.
So I mean,
all right, la atheist.
Well, no, all I'm saying is,
excuse me, la reformed guy.
No, all I'm saying is it's like
the Reddit atheist of Christians.
No, I'm just saying it doesn't make sense timeline wise, and whether or not, because are they just like in 100 AC? And they're just like chilling.
There's some theories that they're in the far future, or that they exist at the same time as the Jetsons.
Jetsons, yeah, where they're in the sky. The Jetsons are in the sky, and they're down on Earth.
They're on Earth.
Yeah,
because they have they know what bowling is somehow.
It's true. You're right. It's kind of like a post-nuclear apocalypse world where they have visions of what used to be, and they're trying to replicate it rocks and beasts.
Sort of like Gene Wolfe's Book of the New Sun,
Mhm.
except for instead of, living in the bombed out husks of spaceships, they're living in bedrock, I
Mhm.
guess.
Perfect. Well, and that does make sense that the creatures would be like kind of bred and mutated to the point of being able to be used as tools.
And they can talk.
Exactly. Show me a pig that can talk. Okay, do that. Go bring that into this here office and have it come on the show, and we'll make $1 million off of view revenue on that one. Let me tell you.
A pig that talks? Question mark, question mark, question mark. You can see the YouTube short now.
Yeah,
It'll get 500 views, and it'll be a talking pig.
Yeah, great. Perfect. Well, I mean, if that's what we need to do to really make our mark on the internet, then a job well done.
Yeah,
I'd
I'm starting
say.
to wonder if we'll ever make a mark on the internet,
Yeah.
I've been checking out, I've been watching a lot of videos about internet subcultures
Mhm.
and horror stories from them. You get into that rabbit hole where it's
Yeah.
like the worst thing that ever happened to the FNAF fandom. And it's always a pedophile. It's always a pedophile.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
like,
there was a pedophile there.
Oh man, I can't tell you what kind of stuff goes on in the brony fandom. But it's like, it's a pedophile. It's always a groomer or a pedophile. Which it's funny. We've talked about this before, but it's like when those terms are used so often and so aggressively, especially like in online discourse, it kind of blunts the blade of it a little bit.
Mhm.
It doesn't have as much power as it should, and people aren't as hit by it because sometimes it'll be like, this guy has a Discord, and that's it. And you're like, okay. But yeah, no, it's I've been watching a lot of that stuff, and it makes me realize, like, wow, I don't know how much power we could ever possibly have on the internet, because there's guys who have like 10% more power than we do. People who have like 1,000 views on each of their videos, who are micro e-celebs and are committing sex crimes. It's like, how much longer do
Listen,
it's like the
we
question.
don't know how we would act if we had that kind of power.
Yeah,
right?
it's
If
like
we had minor e-celeb power,
Yeah.
Josh, who knows what Josh would do
Exactly.
with that kind of
We'd really have
exposure
to
and
put him
power.
under some sort of watch once we got 1,000 views per
At
video.
least a watch list.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You hit 200 subscribers, and all of a sudden your brain chemistry changes.
Mhm.
It's like the whole thing about I know this is like a weird equivalency, but priestly celibacy, where you're like, oh, so how long would you have to go without sex before you became a pedophile? Where it's like, so at what point, at what follower count does it tick over and you start grooming 14-year-olds?
Where's the line?
Where's the line? Where does the tick happen there?
That blurred line.
Yeah.
So many follow.
See, that's why the Discord's dead, is because I'm trying not to groom Sammy Roberts.
Sammy, this is for your own protection.
This is for your own protection.
More than anything. You and Joe, who knows what kind of horrors. Now, and he's a comedian. That's like a terrible
Oh yeah, dude.
cross-pollination there.
Joe's already on the tracks right now. He gets one Netflix special and it's over for him.
It's toast. Yeah.
Yeah, there's been actually kind of a low amount of comedian Me Tooings lately.
Yeah.
Maybe you guys have been like being real careful.
Well, are you implying that those evil actors still exist in the same quantity, but they're just being more cautious?
Potentially. I mean, if because I remember when it was like every week, all the time.
True.
Maybe it was just at that point the thing was, what we're gonna do is we're just gonna dig everything up in comedy or whatever. But I just remember that was like, people were making hay out of that. But I don't know.
Speaking of groomers and pedophiles, I've got a new game for us to play.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we got a new game. Grab your whiteboard. We got a new game going on together. This is movie roulette. All right, this is movie roulette. The goal of the film, not the film, but the game.
Okay.
It's about making a movie. Okay. What we got here is a list of 5 different core positions when it comes to the creation of a movie. We've got a director. We've got the lead actor. We got the supporting actor. We've got the love interest, and we got the villain. Okay.
Okay.
What we're going to do is it's going to be draft style, right? You and I are going to go back and forth. We're going to get a random movie actor, and we have to slot them in somewhere on our list. They are there permanently. We do not get to change.
That's not draft style.
Well, whatever.
If it was draft style, we would have a list, and then you would pick it, then I would pick.
No. Listen, this is a roulette draft. I don't know.
Okay.
It's a snake draft. Let's just say it's a snake draft.
No, that's not
what
how
it
a
is.
snake draft works.
What snake are you going to draft, Shad?
Ooh, I'd like the anaconda, please. Speaking of anaconda, I'm in a group chat with some guys, and somebody sent this tweet that goes viral like once every 6 months, where it's like, Oh, did you guys know that in the movie Boy Next Door, J-Lo is gifted a signed first edition copy of the Iliad? You know? And I was like, oh, that's a great scene. That's a funny movie. It's a terrible funny movie. I don't know if you're listening to the Flophouse episode about it, but it's like J-Lo is an English teacher and one of her students like seduces her and then becomes evil. You know, like this is like used to be a really strong genre of movie, and it's still a strong genre of movie among Black people specifically. They love this stuff where it's like somebody hooks up with somebody, but then it turns out they crazy, you know, and then they end up having to kill the person. It's always like they end up having a fight, and I think at the end J-Lo kills this like 17-year-old hunk or something.
Beautiful.
After he exposes
she ruins her life.
Ruins her life.
What I'm reading from this is that she got into a situation where she had sex with a minor.
Yeah, exactly.
And she's vindicated at the end as being the true
episode
paragon.
Might have a theme.
All right, we're rolling.
But anyway, I was like, they were like, "Oh, what the hell are you talking about? That sounds terrible." And somebody in the chat was like, "I know what a good J-Lo movie is, Anaconda." And I was like, "What? You're talking mad trash to say J-Lo's Anaconda is a good movie." But all right.
Well, so speaking of a good film, our goal here is to make the best possible film off of these random lists that we get. Then, once we got our 5, we name the thing, we give it a soundtrack, we give it an artist who's going to do the soundtrack for it, and we're going to give it a rating. All right, that being like G, PG kind of a thing. All right. So, Josh has got the wheel of actors. We got 3 possible situations. If we want to play it again, I've got 2 other options besides that are not actors. It's a completely different list of individuals.
Okay.
So first one is going to be the actors list, though. Would you like to go first, Shad, or would you like me to take the...
No, dealer's choice.
I'll go for it. All right, Josh, could you spin the wheel for me and give me my first name? What you're going to want to do is when you spin it, as I'm deciding what mine's going to be, and we talk it through, you're going to want to spin it again because it takes a while to spin. Okay. So you're queued up and ready for Shad. Speaking to the mic, please tell me what I've got here. What's my name?
Spinning the wheel of actors. We have Daniel Day-Lewis.
Daniel Day-Lewis. Okay,
that's a pretty
this
good...
is easy. This is a solid pick. Now,
love interest.
There are 2 really core options here. You either put Daniel into lead or you put him into villain.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Now, he's going to piss off the rest of the actors on the film, period, regardless of who's in these other sections, because he's too method. So what I want to do is I want to try to milk that energy, right? I want him to be consistently making people angry, and then they can funnel that into their acting against him as the villain. So I'm going to say Daniel Day is going to be in my villain slot.
Okay, what movies was he not a villain in?
Lincoln. Unless you have a certain opinion about the Civil War, Shad.
Yeah, you're right. I feel like he like normally plays people who are like protagonists, but they're evil.
Yeah,
I don't know.
He plays crazy dudes usually, but
wasn't he like in Room with a View?
He did Hamlet. He was a stage actor.
Another evil protagonist.
Yeah, in which he had to stop acting and take a hiatus because he
was too method.
He saw the ghost of his actual dead father
when he
was acting as Hamlet.
Okay.
So he saw him on stage.
The elder Macbeth.
Yeah, and
but is he a demon, or was he his actual father? All right, what's up? Who do I got?
Christoph Waltz.
Christoph Waltz. I think that's easy. I think though the problem is with Christoph Waltz is that every movie he's in that isn't
him being
Alita Battle Angel is bad.
What the heck, dude?
No. I think the thing is that I guess he's good in Tarantino movies.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently, Alita Battle Angel is actually pretty good. Can I put him in soundtrack? No. I think
one thing you got to consider here too is that somebody at this list who is an actor is going to have to be your director at some point. That decision is going to have to be made.
I think Christoph Waltz goes into the villain role. I think that it's time for him to come back around and actually like make a good movie for once. So we're going with villain for this one, which I think is going to really change the tone of the movie in a certain direction. But we'll see. Yeah. What do we got?
What do I have?
All right, Dylan, your next winner is Mark Wahlberg.
Mark Wahlberg.
Mark
Okay,
Wahlberg.
Marky Mark. This is a tough one.
Yeah,
All
I
right.
don't think he could act across from Daniel Day-Lewis.
No. So he's either supporting character or love interest, right?
Yeah.
Because he's not going to be able to like concretely fight against.
I'm a scientist.
Nobody could believe that Mark Wahlberg is smart in any role. Period. Right?
Yeah.
It's just not going to happen.
Well, then maybe he can be your dumb but intrepid protagonist.
True, but again, he's
Against
gonna have to.
Day-Lewis, you know?
Yeah, well,
Day-Lewis
that
is like,
contrast.
do you know all the things that I know? And Wahlberg's like, no, I don't, but I know.
and I don't
I know
give
how to-
a damn.
But I know how to kick your ass, you know? Something like that.
Yeah,
That's an option. Welcome
know-
to Earth.
that is an option. That is an option.
You can
but
take the Welcome to Earth option, dude.
I'm gonna go with. Let's lean into the brand. I'm gonna make him love interest.
Okay. All right.
Marky Mark, you're going in love interest.
Is everybody a male on this list?
No, there are women.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I was thinking, are we going to be, it's,
The percentage
whatever.
is skewed
Yeah.
heavy towards male because I was looking at the top 1,000 actors list and just like picking the ones that make sense.
How many names are on the list?
There are
Okay.
a lot. There's like 50.
All right. What did I get? What did I get?
All right, Shad, your next name is Ian McKellen.
Ooh.
Ian McKellen.
Put him as lover. You could do that.
That's true. Sir Ian McKellen.
Mhm.
He hasn't really been gay in movies.
It's
Has he?
true. Yeah, I don't know if he's been gay in movies, but he
I'm
is
sure he's-
gay.
I'm sure he's been gay in some movies.
Yeah.
I don't want him to direct it because I just can't handle a British director on this movie. I think with Christoph Waltz as the villain, I think we need an American. He's too old to be a lead unless. You know what? I'm putting him at lead.
Ooh.
I want to see where this takes me.
I don't even know. I don't think I've heard of a Ian McKellen led film where he's like the sole
I mean,
lead figure.
I'm sure he's been in televised Shakespeare and
That's
stuff.
true,
He's
yeah.
actually he freaking is doing Hamlet.
Yeah.
Which is insane because he's 100 years old.
He's doing Hamlet right now.
Yeah, he's doing Hamlet right now.
Hell yeah, dude. Hell yeah. Never too old.
Yeah.
To play what is it? To play Hamlet at 20, Henry VIII at
Not Henry VIII.
Henry VI. Henry VI at 35 and
Perspero. And
Perspero or when you're 50. I don't know. There's a phrase that goes along with that. But anyway, Josh, what do I got for me? I've got Marky Mark and I got Daniel Day going on right now.
And to add to the bunch, we have Joaquin Phoenix.
Joaquin Phoenix.
Yes, this is getting really like
We're doing a lot of A-list,
yeah.
highbrow, Oscar bait actors and Marky Mark.
And Mark Wahlberg.
Yeah. You know what I'm going to do? The obvious choice here would be Joaquin Phoenix as lead, supporting actor. And why is actually we missed a core step here. I'm so sorry, guys. We forgot to roll genre. Genre is the first roll.
Oh no.
So this is a real shakeup.
This is a massive shakeup.
This is a massive shakeup.
Come on, Dylan.
All right, the wheel is spinning. Let's see what we get.
Oh,
for
dude, I'm so sorry,
genre.
dude. This is gonna be.
Oh,
This is a fun little wrench in the works, though. What do we got?
Dylan gets a thriller.
Thriller. Okay,
Okay,
perfect.
what? That's easy. All right, things are gonna get weird.
Okay,
You
perfect.
have everything you need.
Yeah. Well, so now, I would have put Marky Mark as lead if this was if I knew. If
Yeah.
I knew this was Thriller. Putting Joaquin Phoenix as support as weird little guy,
Okay.
right? So like, dude, what's the name of that freaking short Irish actor who was in Saltburn and in
Barry Koenig.
Yeah. He's like a weird little guy archetype. Like he plays weird little dudes. I want Joaquin Phoenix to stretch into like take that Joker cartoonish level, push it a little further, go into weird little guy territory, and be a kind of a spunky support for the lead.
Okay.
Who's like maybe a tech wizard guy. You know, he's got like glasses on and a lab coat. He works at the precinct or whatever.
Yeah.
Is passing information, that kind of thing. So that's what we're gonna do.
Okay, so Shad gets genre, which is
No, wait. This is both of us get this genre. This is a universal genre. You get thriller as well.
I was excited for fantasy.
You were perfect with Ian McKellen there. But
Yeah.
Anyway,
okay. So his next person then that comes after yours is Sylvester Stallone.
Me?
Stallone.
I've got Stallone. That's pretty good. I think Stallone's gonna direct. I think he's got the directing chops. The problem is
Yeah,
that
that works.
I don't know. He hasn't really directed a good movie in a really long time. Is the only problem. It's just like, actually, he's going into love interest.
Perfect. You got like a
I love you.
Ian.
I love your shoulders. I love your arms.
What do you got for me, brother?
All right, Dylan, you have Al Pacino.
Al Pacino. Wow, I'm really rolling hot tonight,
You got
everybody.
Dunkachino.
All right. I'm going to put him in director, right? People don't take him seriously anymore, right? But he's been in enough film. He's dealt with a lot of really good directors. I'm going to take a chance on him.
Okay.
And I'm going to say, worst case scenario, he can talk to Scorsese and be like, what do you think about what I'm doing?
No, non-zero chance that he's been a director before.
Oh, for sure.
What do you like? Dunkachino.
Yeah, and I could get a solid brand placement in the film to help finance it
There
in
you
the
go.
long term.
With Dunkin'
right?
Donuts.
With Dunkin' Donuts, right? He's already ready to go. He's got the contracts written up.
This is a really good one. Shad, you have Gary Oldman.
Ooh. A lot of men. Ian McKellen and Gary Oldman have acted across from each other many times.
I know. I'm kind of bummed that Stallone is the love interest because
there are women on this list, by the way.
Apparently not very many. I feel like Gary would match Ian's energy a lot stronger, but I like the idea of Stallone. I think Oldman's gonna. The thing is, I'm so worried about director being a dump stat. I'm worried about director being a dump stat because a great director can elevate a lot of bad material, but I feel like Oldman is just such a great character actor that he has to be a supporting character because, you know, if he can like pull half the weird ass stuff he does with like Luc Besson and stuff out, we can make something pretty wild here. So I'm going to try and go for it.
All right. He's going
for supporting actor.
Supporting actor. All right, Josh, what do you got from me?
All righty. Spinning the wheel of names. And you have...
He didn't spit it when he was supposed to.
I was looking up whether Gary Oldman had directed any movies. Sigourney Weaver.
Sigourney Weaver as lead. Sigourney Weaver.
She's a leading woman.
She is.
Hasn't really been in a little while.
Yeah.
That's another thing this thing skews. It skews very old.
Listen, it's a wide range of people.
And the love interest is Mark Wahlberg.
And Mark Wahlberg.
Man,
tell me
tell me
this is not a match made in heaven.
The most tender love scene.
Try to convince me. It's basically just honestly, I know that neither of them are in this film, but it's the love scene from Terminator. That's what I'm imagining for this love scene. It's in the middle of like all of the crazy stuff that's going on.
Yeah.
They just have a smoky room love scene in the middle of it all.
Intimate moment.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
To help sort of.
And even though she's a hard ass bitch, she has a soft spot
for Marky Mark because he's also a hard ass bitch.
No, I think Marky Mark is probably like a himbo archetype in this sort of movie.
True.
All right, what do we got for director? Who's directing my movie?
Morgan Freeman.
Okay. I sure.
That's not too bad.
That's not too bad. He has a lot of industry experience. I imagine he's probably half these people I imagine have directed before. Probably not to super great results, but I can see Morgan Freeman pulling something out. Okay. All right, Morgan.
All right, Morgan. Okay.
All right.
I'm gonna say okay. All right. I've got my situational ready to go. Now, I don't know how we're going to sort of judge who ends up with a better film. I mean,
I guess Liebhauser is the only person.
Liebhauser can give his opinion on it, but, you know, honestly, this is going to come out in what other people think. So, you know, if you got any ideas on what you thought of it, you know, throw it in the comments, which one you think is better and that kind of a thing. Can I start with mine? Okay, so we got a lot of really A-list talent here. The movie's going to be called Day in the Sun, right?
Okay.
A nod to the fact that Daniel Day-Lewis is in the film to help draw people into the film, into seats, get butts in seats, right? It's also going to be a sort of a desert setting. It's going to be southwestern Arizona style kind of thing, maybe like some kind of similar aesthetic to like I'm going to say similar aesthetic to Asteroid City, but like when it comes to the
is
location,
that something that Al Pacino could pull off? You think?
No, I'm not. I'm just saying location wise. All right, obviously, darker color palette, gritty. You know, Al Pacino going to bring a lot of that kind of like rated R flair to this thing, right? Like that kind of strength. But you know, he has comedic background. He's been in Grown Ups and such. He wasn't in Grown Ups, right? Was he in Grown Ups 2? Grown Ups 2, is that the one with the Dunkachino? Is that
that's
Jack and Jill? Right. So we know he's got comedic chops. so we know he's going to be able to also have some levity in the film. And that's where Marky Mark is going to come in, right? And Joaquin Phoenix. We got Weird Little Guy. We got Himbo. Sigourney Weaver She goes down into the Southwest, something about a crime, something about a bomb, maybe. And she's like constantly back and forth with like a guy who owns all the oil wells in the area. Wait, no, that's just
Yeah.
There will be blood.
Yeah, you gotta. You're not being specific enough.
Listen, this is need to be super specific. This
Okay.
is about vibes. I don't need to give you a rundown of the entire plot of this thing. This
Okay.
is the characters. This is what's going on. This is just a pitch.
So, what kind of weird little
the
guy
film.
is Joaquin Phoenix?
Weird little guy, definitely car mechanic. Car mechanic specializing in motorcycles.
Okay.
And he's all greased up. He's got the backwards cap. Weird little dude. He helps fix Sigourney Weaver's motorcycle because she's driving through town and all that
Yeah.
jazz. Mark Wahlberg plays the sheriff of the town, of course. And Daniel Day-Lewis is going to try to tear this thing down, build a freaking overpass. This movie in general. He's going to try to build an overpass over the area. She's got to defend the town against the goons.
Yeah.
But there's a ticking time bomb. It is a thriller, of course. The ticking time bomb is that there's literally
A ticking time bomb?
a ticking time bomb built under the
Yeah.
entire. Daniel Day-Lewis's character
And if
has
they don't-
dug underneath the.
Yeah. And if they
town
don't
and
drive
built
the
a giant-
town over 80 miles per hour, it'll explode.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Well,
Yeah.
no, and then
And then
what-
Day-Lewis is always going, pop quiz, hot shot.
what ends up happening is that they realize that they don't have enough time to get the bomb
and they go,
defused.
We're out of
time.
time.
What they have to do is they have to push. They have 24
Oh,
hours
to
to push
push
the
the town
entire town out of the
somewhere else.
blast zone.
Yeah.
So it's a day in the sun. That's the film. Rated R, of course.
Yeah.
Soundtrack done by the Police. That's who's
Okay.
doing the soundtrack.
I don't think they're a band anymore.
No, this is just
Okay.
in the vague abstract. They're
I'm
doing.
sure Sting would do it.
Sting's out here. He's
Yeah.
going to be doing the soundtrack. And I really want.
I'd say I describe this music as tantric.
All right, what do you got for me?
Okay, I've got The Chair.
Mm.
Okay, which is about somebody who's the head of a local homeowners association or whatever the equivalent is, like a building board. Like how apartment complexes will have homeowners associations. It's about the chair of said homeowners association, played by Ian McKellen, who sort of like is like a Broadway gay elder statesman. Who is big in town and whatnot. And he is trying to attempt to run it, and the soup is played by Gary Oldman, right? Who's this sort of, and he's got like an accent he should not have. I mean, I imagine
He's got like Brazilian.
he's South African. Let's
Yeah.
just say like Gary Oldman is South African.
Yeah.
Right. He's a South African soup, and it's a story about Christoph Waltz, who plays like some sort of extremist. I want it to be like extremists how they used to be in movies, where what exactly they're extreme about isn't really defined. They're just extremists. They're always talking about their demands,
Yeah.
And he attempts to take it sort of like Die Hard. He takes the building hostage because it's a bunch of high-powered people, and it's up to Ian McKellen to go floor to floor and try to disarm whatever sort of explosive or etc. And the whole time he's also trying to impress Stallone, who is a retired police officer,
Ooh, there
who
you
he
go.
has a steamy relationship with, but has never been physical with. And the
It
thrill
doesn't know if he's straight or not.
doesn't know if he's straight or not.
Yep.
Spoilers, he's
He's
not.
not.
But
Very not.
yeah, very not. Another Stevie love scene, of course, in the film. But like, I think that the thrill of it, whatnot, would come from the fact that Ian McKellen is not in any way a trained killer, but he feels so much responsibility for his building that he sort of drives himself to do things that he shouldn't do or shouldn't be capable of doing.
Okay.
And I imagine like maybe Gary Oldman like used to be like an apartheid cop or something and teaches him,
Kung Fu.
basic hand to hand.
Krog Maga.
Yeah, and whatnot. So I think, and the soundtrack by Trent Reznor of Nine Inch Nails, much like the video game Quake. And also
it's just
a bunch of movies.
F you like an animal
Yes.
on repeat through the entire film.
Yeah.
Just on going and going.
Just the
going.
beat, just the beat to that. As he's making his way through it. So I think it'd have like comedic elements because it would have to because they're all old and gay. But I think that
It's hard to make that a solely serious film.
Yeah. So that's my idea. The Chair.
The Chair. All right, Josh. What? So rated R.
Rated R.
Rated
of
R. Josh,
for sexual content. The violence is very toned down.
Violence is honestly PG. We're
Yeah.
talking slapstick. People are jumping all over the place. It's
Yeah.
crazy. Yeah. Josh, what do you got on? Which one do you prefer? Which would you rather see?
I think I'd rather go see The Chair because I think I believe a little more in who's your director again?
Morgan Freeman.
Morgan Freeman than I do Al Pacino.
Oh, well, okay.
And I think Christoph Waltz plus Ian McKellen plus what's his face from the movie?
Gary Oldman.
Gary Oldman.
Did we just
That
said
is-
these names?
that is star power right there.
I think it
Yes.
is. I think it
Yes.
is.
I think you're right.
And I think Sylvester Stallone would add like a bit of weird levity, and it would be really funny for him to be like, "I love you."
Yeah,
I love you so much.
I
Kiss me on my gay lips.
okay, never mind. I'm sorry.
Damn it! No, I couldn't pull out the Stallone impression. That was
Yeah.
what my pitch was missing.
Yeah.
Would you like to play this game again? We got 2 other lists if you're interested.
Sure, I suppose.
All right. Would you like the wackiest one or the medium wacky one? When it comes to,
I imagine wackiest.
All right,
People are only here for an hour. We got to give them what they want.
it's gonna be round 3. Round 3, if you can grab round.
We're going
3.
straight to round 3. All right.
All
Well,
right.
first we got to hit genre,
Do you want a genre first?
and I think each of
Yes.
us should get a separate genre.
Ooh, okay, I'd be okay
Yeah.
with that. It's just okay. We'll do that.
All right, rolling genre for Dylan.
All right, what do you got for me?
Dylan gets
Oh, it's thriller.
Oh.
comedy.
Comedy. Okay. Oh, this is gonna be.
That's a tough one.
That's a tough one. Okay, comedy.
Well, you know what the names on the list are. You're already constructing your strategy.
No, dude.
All right,
what do I get?
And you get just barely action.
Action.
That's good.
Okay. I believe round 3 is the musicians list.
Hang on, let me look. No, I think that's round 2.
Round 2? Round 3. Oh, famous TV personalities.
Yes.
Yes. So this is news anchors. This is game show hosts. This is famous TV actors. Okay.
Okay.
So I am first.
There's some wild names on this.
I know. This is
Holy cow.
we're in a rough spot
John
here.
Lemon. John Lemon.
Hit
All
me,
right.
dude.
All righty. Coming up first. This is a really eclectic wheel here.
All
All right.
Kick
Kick it. Oh. Walter Cronkite.
Walter Cronkite.
Wow. Dead guy, Walter Cronkite,
Mhm.
right?
I believe he is dead.
Yeah, I think
Yes,
so.
I believe he is dead. Walter Cronkite.
I feel like every 2 weeks I get one of those Facebook posts where it's like, back in the day, you would watch One News, and this guy would tell you the truth without any spin. Share if you remember Walter Cronkite.
Walter Cronkite. Oh, I don't trust him as a director for a comedy. I don't trust him as a director here.
He could just be a supporting actor who shows up briefly.
I'm gonna say villain because
Oh.
often the most straight-laced individuals make the best villains in comedies, right?
Oh yeah,
He's
he's the square.
yes. Or it's like when Tom Cruise was in Tropic Thunder, right? Where we
That
take a
was-
serious
That was not
individual.
straight-laced or square at all.
No, we take a straight-laced individual, we put him in a comedic
Okay.
situation,
Yeah.
and we try to push
Walter
them
Cronkite
to a place that they've never been before.
in a fat suit.
Yeah.
Walter Cronkite in blackface.
Walter Cronkite in a blackface fat suit? Come on.
The
All right.
Klumskite? Walter the Klumps Cronkite?
All
Walter
right.
Cronkite. Okay, that's where he's going. He's villain.
Okay, Shad, you get a kind of a 2-for-1 here. You
Oh.
get the Property Brothers, but connected at the
Oh.
waist.
The Property Brothers, but connected at the waist.
I'm so glad that one came up. That was my
Yeah,
favorite addition to
I
the
think
list.
the Property Brothers, but connected at the waist, have to be the villain. I think I
Yeah.
would. I want. The thing is, if I was
love
trying-
interest, though,
if I was
that's
trying to be-
twice the love.
I know if I was trying to be ridiculous, it'd have to be. If it was a comedy, love interest, 100%.
Yeah.
But I think they're going to be the villains, the Property Brothers. I think that they have the ability to construct some evil plans.
Mm.
And since this is an action movie, it's good for the enemy to be a freak of some kind.
Yeah, a freak of nature.
Yeah.
It helps kind of soften the blow there. All right, Josh, what do you got for me?
Okay, Dylan, you got Rick Harrison
All right, of
from
Pawn Stars fame.
Yep.
Ooh.
Oh,
That's
I've
pretty
met that
good.
guy. I interviewed
Best
him.
I can do is. Guy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
All right.
Oh, that's right. You did. I forgot.
I have met Rick Harrison. He was nice enough.
I am trying to balance between director and supporting character. I think we could put him in supporting for sad sack character. He could be like the lead person's roommate who's like doesn't have their life together. Like I think he could act that pretty well. He's a very successful individual, don't get me wrong. Well, he probably has a great head on his shoulders, but I think that he could act that pretty well.
He does have a big head on his shoulders.
For personal experience.
Yeah.
All right.
All right, Shad, your next person is Bill Nye.
Bill Nye.
The
Too bad
science
the
guy.
villain slot's already taken. Gosh, dude, I hate that guy so much. Bill Nye the Science Guy.
Action film.
We're gonna say the explosion wouldn't be like that. He can't be the director.
No, that would be a rough sitch.
That would be a rough sitch.
He would have the best technical knowledge required to execute explosive stunts.
That's true, but then
Probably
they have to be
out of anybody on that
realistic
list.
explosive stunts. I want an action movie with some, with a fro on it, something crazy.
Mhm.
I'm gonna say Bill Nye is going to be the supporting actor. He's going to be back in the lab, dude.
Okay. All right, that makes sense.
Yes,
That makes sense.
That'd make the Redditors soy face so much. They're gonna love my movie when Bill Nye shows up as guy who makes big guns or something.
All right, what do you got for me, Josh?
Alrighty, Dylan gets another respectfully passed along individual, Alex Trebek. Rest in peace.
Alex Trebek. Okay. This is tough. This is not a great list for comedies. Let
No.
me tell you. A lot of these guys are pretty self-serious. I know, I don't want to spoil anything, but there are a lot of people I wish would have come up. Alex Trebek definitely goes into love interest. Reason being is that this person, love interest does not have to be funny. Straight man to whatever individual they're acting across from. Okay. So given my current situation, the leading person has to be funny. They have to be a funny individual, or I'm sinking. This whole project's gonna go down under. Okay.
A lot of movies, they sell the screenplay, they never really get off the ground. It's okay.
I just can imagine Alex Trebek being in like a meet cute situation where like Harrison is trying to goad the lead actor to be like, just ask him out, dude, or sis, slay queen, and he's like at a coffee
it's
shop.
funny for me to imagine Rick Harrison being the roommate of a hot young female. And it's like, oh, Rick, my roommate.
Oh, man. I can't believe our lease has not expired. I am counting down the days.
I'm counting down the days, and she's like making a smoothie. He's eating like a cold bowl of chili. You gotta ask that guy out.
Yeah.
He's totally looking you out.
That guy is hot stuff. That Alex dude.
Yeah.
All right. What do you
Now,
got?
this does sound pretty funny.
Yeah, this sounds pretty good.
All right, this one I think would have helped Dylan, but Shad, you've got Jay Leno.
Jay Leno. Gosh. Yeah. Yeah, you guys see this? Nah. Jay Leno is going to direct because I think that he can at least film a good car chase.
True.
And even though I'm not really one for car chases, I find them really boring. Maybe this will be different. Maybe that'll be enough. I think that he'd be competent enough and everything else. And from what I've heard, he's kind of got a temper on him, which is what you want on a director. So
True.
yeah.
Josh, what do I got?
Dylan,
You guys see my new movie?
screwed.
Am I effed? Dude?
Another serious dead guy. You got Mr. Rogers.
All right.
Director,
of course.
Yeah.
Only because the man is a production mastermind. That guy helmed his show. Okay. I mean, he was the showrunner for that thing. He got a lot of stuff done and really made it what it was. I think I need that kind of sense of vision. He can be funny. He has executed jokes before to varying degrees of success. What I need to do is I need to start contextualizing what age range I'm going to go shooting for on this. I've been thinking too much of like boner comedy. Like, no, this needs to be more of like a kid's comedy. This needs to be a children's comedy.
It can be animated.
Yeah. Well,
Is that a category?
Animated children's film is a category.
Okay,
so,
but no, it can be in an animated comedy. Start imagining them more as
like
furry-
lizards.
Yeah, lizards or something.
All right, Josh, what Shad got?
All right, Shad, you've got Chip Gaines.
Chip Gaines, another home-related guy.
A comedic talent. I'd say he'd make a great lead for my film.
I'm actually thinking Chip Gaines for the lead for sure. He's got leading man looks.
Yeah, he's hunky.
He's gained a
hunky.
lot of weight though. You'd have to lose it to, but he'd have to bulk up for the
this
action.
This is a movie. We put him on a personal trainer thing.
Yeah,
hit him with some roids. He'd be fine. And he's not so attractive that he's unattainable,
unapproachable. Yeah, he's like Chris Pratt. You know.
Yeah, I'd say so. A little more masculine.
Yeah.
I think that's a great for an action lead. He's not going to be like Schwarzenegger. He's not going to be like dropping the lines and whatnot.
But
maybe he can be a guy who's a little quiet, who's pushed too far.
And the subtext of him facing the Property Brothers,
exactly. That's what I'm thinking.
In combat is a pretty good situation.
Yeah, joined at the waist.
All right. What category did you give Mr. Rogers?
Director. All I've got is leading man left.
All right. How about Tucker Carlson?
Tucker Carlson.
Tucker.
Yeah.
Tucker Carlson is my lead. All right. All right. I'm trying to figure out how not to make this movie suck.
People tell you that comedy is illegal now.
It's illegal. You can't even make jokes anymore.
Yeah.
It's crazy. All right. I'm trying to look.
Why is that?
Honestly,
I'm asking. Honestly, why is that? Is it because they want to? Never mind.
All right. I might have to swing this in a completely different direction.
Yeah, you got Tucker Carlson, dude.
Okay. All right. Here we go.
Who is in love with
Alex Trebek.
Okay.
All right. Okay. Give me a second.
This is very much like late night news oriented. All right. Do I have my last one?
Yeah. What's your last category?
It's the love interest. Who's Chip Gaines fighting for?
Larry King.
Larry King. Oh man, that guy is like, if you know those air tanks that people who smoke have to have. He's just one of those. He's one of those air tanks. He's not even a guy. Man, he's on Russia Today.
All right.
Weirdly enough, a simp for the Russian government.
Really?
Yes.
King?
He's on RT.
That's hilarious.
They paid him a ton of money. That's a funny thing about a media economy is that you can get like insane deals if you work for like Russian sanctioned media in America. So like Radio Sputnik and stuff like that. You can make a ton of money that way.
Okay.
So we got to come up with a name, a rating.
And who's going to score the soundtrack?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. I'm ready to go.
What you got?
Here's what we're going to do. This is going to be a meta commentary on the white lead comedy. Okay. It's called White Folks, right?
Okay. With an X?
No.
Okay.
With a K, right? It's a meta commentary.
How many Ks?
Singular K. Actually, 2 Ks, right? we're on the line, but right between.
Yeah.
All right. So we've got.
There's no comedy movies starring white people anymore.
Why is that? That's why I have funded my own white comedy film called White Folks. What's happening here is we got a lot of old, some of them arch conservative, white guys, right? Who are the jokes are going to be centered around them being white dudes as the butt of the joke, right? That's like going to be the core, right? Tucker Carlson's not even going to know. He's going to think he's in a drama. He's going to come in and think that we're doing a biography of like his life and his struggles, okay? We're going to twist it in comedic directions like as we go forward. Post-production, we're going to edit it around comedy. We're going to make the situations seem a lot more comedic than, because we could just have Tucker act and it would be probably funny, right? Especially if we have him across the right actor, okay? Now, in this way, Rick is a perfect supporting character here, right? He is able to come in and doesn't necessarily lend like a comedic styling to the scene, but he's a great kind of like contrast to Tucker when it comes to like, we've got the classic skinny guy, thick guy dichotomy.
Tucker is like kind of a little fat though.
Well, I mean, you know, classically he's thinner. He's thinner than Rick, okay? It's the whole I and O kind of a thing, right? You know, we got the I and O
the Abbott and Costello.
Yeah, the Abbott and Costello kind of situation. So he's a contrasting character. He's sort of like...
Okay, you have yet to give me any details about this movie.
I'm working through the vibes with you.
What's it called?
It was called White Folks. I
Okay.
gave you the title of the thing. I thought, what the heck, dude? Give me a second to cook,
Okay.
brother. Okay.
Dylan has a hole to dig himself out of here.
Yeah.
Alex Trebek. He is a love interest. He knows that he is acting as a love interest. Tucker Carlson does not know he's acting as a love interest.
That's hilarious.
The situation here is that he's going to be trying to hit on Tucker as the movie goes on, and Tucker is like not going to understand that he's being hit on by a man, right? He's not able to pick up those vibes. Or we find out through the course of filming this film that he definitely knows how to pick up on those vibes. So, either or, win-win. It's going to be funny either way.
Yeah.
Okay.
That guy's done too much coke not to be able to pick up those vibes.
And then Walter Cronkite as the villain. This is new media facing old media.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Because of the fact that this is kind of a parody of Tucker's life, right? It's going to be, we're going to sort of overemphasize that dichotomy and that battle, right?
Yeah.
And we're going to have Walter Cronkite be kind of the disembodied force that he's fighting against, and as he, travels around, does internet shows and that kind of a thing. What ties this all together, of course, is Rogers as the director. Listen, for this, we need technical expertise. Do I trust Roger to be able to do this delicate balance of filming what is ostensibly a drama and, forming it into a comedy over time and really making this a unified project and something that could easily lose its identity over time? No, I don't trust him to do that, but he's what fit in the budget. So this is what we're going to get. Okay. This is White Folks. It is PG-13, right?
Okay.
No nudity in this one. It's going to be scored by the Wiggles.
Okay.
No comment on that.
Their cover of Tame Impala's Elephant, pretty good. So maybe, they've got some chops.
All right, Shad.
All right. So my movie is called Freak on a Leash. It stars Chip Gaines as a disgraced carnival performer. All right. Now it's a carnival in the future. This is important. It's a zero gravity carnival.
Okay.
Right.
It's like a Circus Olay. Oh, Circus
Yeah.
Olay.
Circus Olay. Yeah. It's good for your hair.
Yeah.
It's like the circus in that scene in Revenge of the Sith where Palpatine is initiating Anakin into the mysteries of the Sith, and they look out over that
orb of water.
Yeah, the orb of water where people are flipping around and jumping in and out. That's what Chip Gaines did.
Okay.
Right?
That's what he does.
Yes, he has since dropped out because of drug addiction. All right. Now, how does Larry
You'd think
King,
that would actually support and, sort of improve your
he
career.
He burnt out.
Okay.
All right. He's on like death sticks or something called like juice or wizard or something. That's the super science drug in the future. Larry King, how does he work as a love interest? We have him be a creature feature prosthetic weirdo. All right. In his skinny ass weird body, we put him in like a fish mask. I'm imagining something like The Shape of Water.
Okay.
Right?
All right.
Yeah.
Women find monsters sexy.
Exactly. Chip Gaines' character, part of the reason why he was fired is that he was ostracized for being attracted to this weird Larry King monster of some sort. I'm imagining actually not like he's a mammalian, but like a naked mole rat kind of mammalian where he's got like weird teeth and a crazy face, right? And so Chip Gaines is like it's also a story about love and acceptance, right? But Larry King or Glorthu or whatever his name is has been captured by the ringmaster, the Property Brothers connected at the waist, right?
The ringmaster. Yeah.
They got a whip in each hand. They got 4 whips that they use to like make space elephants do tricks so that you hate them, Now we hate circus people because of the elephant thing.
Yeah.
You hate them because they whip the space elephants.
Exactly.
And they whip Larry King. And they're constantly like, you're not a person. You're just a mole rat. You freak, you
Fish,
monster.
yeah.
You're
a mole fish.
Scumbag.
Yeah.
Well, Chip Gaines comes out of retirement to take revenge. And thanks to his guy on the inside who works all the anti-gravity machines and stuff, Bill Nye, right? He's able to get the equipment that he needs. Now, the reason why it's called Freak on a Leash is because they have this thing called a gravitational tether that they use to do all of their tricks where they can turn gravity off and on.
Okay.
So there's action scenes where he's fighting and like he'll make it 0G and then all the goons are like, whoa! And then he shoots them while they're in the air and stuff. And then he'll like bring it back down and they break their necks, right?
So I'm getting notes of like classic 80s action where you could have like different circus performing characters that he's fighting
various
against.
enemies. It'd be like Running Man. Would be a good indication of that, where it's like they have like montage introductions.
Or John Wick 2 when he's fighting the different assassins.
Yes.
Like you've got different sort of milestones of like, now I'm fighting the strong man, right?
Yes.
Now I'm fighting the lizard tamer.
Yes.
You know, whatever it might
they
be.
all have sci-fi, you know, so instead of a
angles.
sword swallower, it's a space sword swallower. Instead of a strong man, it's an asteroid strong man or something along those lines. And of course there is a hover bike race of some sort,
of course,
so that Jay Leno can, you know, and all the cars look like they're from 1953 or something.
Retro futurist.
Yeah, so Jay Leno. The artist, the soundtrack is going to be soundtracked by Creed. And I'm going to make it so that Scott Stepp is not allowed to use a guitar or a drum set. It all has to be synthesizers. It's rated R, but like 80s rated R. And that's Freak on a Leash.
No, 80s PG-13 would be.
No. It's 80s R. But like, you know, I don't know. It's hard to explain. It's different. It's got a different vibe. But anyway, so yeah, Freak on a Leash, starring Chip Gaines in his big action debut.
So I feel like the choice of Creed was kind of pandering to the audience being me here.
No.
Freak on a Leash sounds horrifying. I don't think I would go watch
What I
it.
was really hoping was that Larry King would be the freak on a leash.
Well, so I think it's like a double meeting. I meant that for that to be the
I
case.
was like, there should have been a moment where you're like,
he's
and
a
then they
freak.
put him on a leash.
Yeah, no, he'll be on a leash. I thought that was obvious
Don't worry,
from the tin.
he'll be on a leash.
I thought I would add an extra level of depth to the name by having there be the gravity tether situation. But yes, he is also a freak who gets put on a leash.
Of course.
Yeah,
Yes.
and whipped. And then it's like, kind of sexual.
Kind of sexy.
Yeah,
though.
I'm not watching this movie. That's horrifying. I will say, White Folks as a deconstructed Tucker Carlson gay biopic, absolutely would watch that 100%.
dude.
Nice job
We got
digging
it.
that one out of a tough
It only took him
casting.
twice as long of a summary. I could have made mine
He
cooler
got me.
if I had 10 more minutes.
I got a really solid.
That was
Yeah.
tight.
Yeah,
That was
I will
tight.
say I cannot justify Rogers as the director though. That's going to be probably the direction will be the weakest point of the
I
film.
didn't
Yeah.
mind that.
Camera work.
I mean, I
not
feel like
great.
for all of these, I mean, since there's no directors on the list, it's like, you know, unless you're talking, who's like a famous and good actor director? Selena Gomez,
Danny DeVito.
John Krasinski.
yeah, John Krasinski. Man, that
Jordan Peele's doing that now.
Yeah, Jordan Peele. But he's not acting in the movies that he's directing.
No, I don't think he is.
No. Mm-mm.
The guys from Always Sunny in Philadelphia. They do that.
I think they're doing some of that, yeah.
Yeah. Me in Freak on a Leash.
Where I
would play
the peanut stand guy.
Yeah, no, exactly. I play peanut stand guy who gets like a piece of rebar stuck through his chest.
Oh.
It'd be awesome. Even though in the future there's no way they would use rebar. Like, have you heard about this? Like, they don't even use rebar anymore. And like,
No, I
it's like this thing in post-apocalyptic media and sci-fi where they have to include rebar because it's dope as hell.
Okay.
But it's like, yeah, we haven't used rebar in years. It's like the same thing with studs. Like everything's got studs on it. It's like, no, if we don't put studs on stuff anymore.
Oh, okay.
But
For
rivets, I mean.
For those
Okay, I was
for
like,
those
yeah,
that-
there's studs
for
all
those
over
that
the
care, I have drawn a little fish on the back of my board named Steve.
Yeah, but now you can't erase it.
I know he'll be there permanently. He's there for window dressing on this board. Now you know it's gonna be mine. How are we doing on
If
time?
I didn't have to edit, I'd put like a swear word on the back and force you to blur it out. This whole thing right here, what we just did, this would be like a much better hive mind video where like somebody actually put editing work into the lists and like made a poster. Now,
or just recorded the screen as I was spinning the wheel.
exactly.
That would have been the way to go.
That's another way to do it.
Next time we'll do that.
Listen,
Next time we'll do that.
I don't know. I thought it was
I have
fun.
NVIDIA screen capture, so
How are we doing on
So
time?
those are some production things that we could do in the future, folks. Hope you
Yeah.
enjoy that. You have 6 minutes left to talk about
6 minutes
whatever
left.
you want to talk about.
Well,
Okay.
so first off, we got to thank our Patreon
Yes.
supporters who, if you guys pay more, I guess we could do all that. If you're able to make us independently wealthy enough to not have real jobs, then you know,
sweet. Yeah.
we'll put that work in. I know that if we actually really wanted to be successful one day, that we would actually, we would really we would really do it. But big thanks and big shout outs to Sammy Roberts, who I saw this weekend. It was great to see you, Sammy. Zach and Strehle and Joe Papalardo, who I have not heard from in a while. You need to text me, Joe. It's been a long time.
Joe.
I miss you, my friend.
Just to let you guys know, if you guys are interested in supporting the Patreon, which is Patreon.com/Monomaniacs pod, we do a post show after this. Who knows what we'll do with this one? Who knows? We might play the game again. I don't know. I made a third list. So
yeah, I kind of want to see Josh try. I was surprised you didn't make him do
It'd
it
be
on
fun
the
to bring him on there too.
Yeah, so if the thing that you really like about the show is Josh, if that's like the thing where you're like, man, I tune every week to hear what Josh has to say.
Please leave a comment.
Yeah, please.
We got Josh heads out there. Get in the comments.
Get in the comment section, Josh heads, and then also hit us up on Patreon because next year, you're going to be able to hear Josh really let loose on his movie ideas.
Yes.
To conclude, though, the T-shirts, everything's locked in.
They're on the way.
Round has been ordered.
The T-shirts are on the way. So
there are going to be spares after this first round. So if you become a patron at the $5 tier or greater between now and a while, you may be eligible for one of these shirts.
Yeah, well, the T-shirts are going to be here in like a week and a half. So I don't know. We'll see.
So get it while it's hot.
Yes, get it while it's hot.
Get in there now.
Get in there now.
It is not guaranteed, but it could happen.
$5 or more.
So we have all the equipment and stuff. I need to figure out a way to print the labels properly. But
there's a way to go about it. But
okay,
we can talk about this later.
Nobody
cares.
About it later, but we're gonna be getting them to you guys, so you can have a shirt that you can wrap Monomaniacs, and somebody will go, "What's that?" And then you go, "Oh, it's my friend's podcast, Monomaniacs," and they go,
"Oh wow,
wow, cool." Yeah. Yeah, and then and I think we're planning to have Silas model for a photo shoot with him, which it's gonna be funny. We need a young lady to act across from him for those. So
drop a comment on the poses you would like Silas to be in the shirt.
And the more
anything,
borderline,
anything goes. Yes,
borderline. What?
Yes,
yeah,
up to you.
He should be embarrassed that his mother will see them.
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
true.
Yes,
true. Because she definitely will. Any dang way. Thank you all. I hope you all have a good one. And frickin' A, dude. Thank you for watching. And if you can't support the show financially, like a lot of people can't, it's the inflation's bad out there. Yeah. The economy's rough.
I spent $6 on a Big Mac.
That's insane.
I could have spent those $6 on this show instead as a patron to Monomaniacs and gotten so much content instead of one burger.
Big Mac, $5.
I could have gotten,
that's like half a coffee.
I could have gotten 2 hours of entertainment a month extra on top of the show for the price of one Big Mac.
For one Big Mac. But if you can't do that, and that's fine, because inflation's real bad. Like and subscribe. Show your support down below.
We're literally one subscriber away from 100. Please subscribe.
The blue. Never mind. That is a bad phrase for what I'm trying to go for. We really want that 100, brother. Please just give it to us.
That's true.
Just be that 100.
We might make a 100 subscriber special.
Okay. Don't tell them, but we're probably not gonna.
We're probably not gonna do 100 subscribers.
But anyway, yeah, it'd be sweet. But
yeah,
any dang way. All right, I will.
Okay, how about this? If we hit 200 subscribers, I will eat an entire can of Pringles in front of the camera.
You would do that on a Friday just to do it.
Yeah, while reading Gene Wolfe, who invented the machine that makes Pringles, which didn't come up in our Pringles episode with Jane, and I'm royally pissed.
You're telling me
Jane is never allowed on this show ever again.
You hear that, Jane? You're telling me that the author Gene Wolfe invented the machine that makes Pringles?
Yes.
What the hell? What? That is, you're gaslighting.
Nope.
Me. There's
it's
no way.
100% true. Find out Josh's fact check on the Patreon.
Is it true?
Is it true? Or you could Google it yourself. I promise it is. All right, everybody.
Or you can spend $5 and we'll tell you.
Or you can spend $5 and we could tell you. I'm not going to tell you what to do with your money. That seems like a bad use of it, but it will go directly to us, which will mean more T-shirts and more podcasts. So it's up to you, man. You're an adult. Unless you're a minor, then you have to ask for your dad's credit card.
Mm-hmm.
Bye.
And say it's for V-Bucks.
Say it's for V-Bucks. Bye.